Welcome, everybody, to the new Zelda Dungeon Mailbag. Everything here is perfectly normal. Perfectly.
Hello.
How's it going?
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing really good.
Having a good
Oh! What's up?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, we've got a lot of great questions. I just want to start off.
And
by
one
saying,
really bad one.
Guess, you gotta guess which one it is. You're not gonna say. Leave a question, though, down below in the comments for the mailbag.
Yes.
Keep them coming. We got a great one here from Final Flash, who asks us, Zelda TV series or movie trilogy? Which would you prefer and think they could do justice? I've moved away from I don't think I want to see a movie anymore.
I almost feel like if a major studio got their hands on Zelda, they would just ruin it. Well, it doesn't work to tell the story of a game we already know. That doesn't make sense.
If they do a Zelda adaptation, the urge of people is going to be to do like a live action thing, and that's not really something I'm super into. I would definitely lean more towards like a Castlevania style TV series type thing.
Yeah.
Like, lean into that anime aspect. I think that would be sweet.
That would be
pretty
super
much with you
cool.
100%. That was a cool show. The movie people always picture in their minds, I think, will just never. It's just not gonna happen. People always picture like this Lord of the Rings, like this epic sweeping movie. But it would be cool if they made one. But like, it's. I think the one they would make would not be like that.
Yeah, I'd be way more down for like a mini series or a TV show than a feature film.
We got a question from Billy Naylor. They basically actually just wanted to know how we all got involved with Zelda Dungeon. I thought this could be a kind of fun topic. I like to think back on the old days of playing Zelda and like getting interested in like the lore and like other games in the series that I hadn't played, and I go online and like look up stuff and read forums, and I would find stuff like on Zelda Universe and then Zelda Dungeon, sites like that that I guess are still around. Those are the two big ones.
Zelda Dungeon's still around?
I just remember, those were the first big sites I encountered, and this was in like, the mid 2000s. I remember one day just seeing a post on the Facebook that had like, 50 followers or something like that, being like, we're looking for someone to post on Facebook. And I just responded. I was like, I'll do it. And I just eventually got messaged like, hey, you want to do that? And this was, this was before like, I guess this was when social media was starting to become a big thing for brands and stuff. So It was just literally just being a fan of all these sites and reading the forums and, reading all these theories and stuff, and then just happened to get asked to post on the Facebook.
So, I mean, I grew up basically knowing what Zelda Dungeon was all the time. Because, I mean, like you, I used it like when I'd get stuck in a game and I didn't have the manual or the guide, And I liked to, like, I don't know, look up fun facts about Zelda. Because I'm a nerd, The way I started watching Zelda Dungeon was on Twitch through the marathons. And that's how I really, like, kind of knew that there was, like, a real community around it. I was familiar with the Instagram and the Facebook, but not, like, super active on that. And then 2 years ago, my friend at work just was like, hey, I saw a Facebook post that Zelda Dungeon is looking for people to help work on walkthroughs. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I know some of the games really well, and so that'd be kind of fun to be able to edit walkthroughs. I applied, and Moss and I chatted for a while.
That's what you're doing.
And now that's all I do all day is work on walkthroughs. I have not touched a single walkthrough my entire time at Zelda Dungeon, which has kind of started the joke of Moss asking me last year, like, at the end of the marathon, so, Nico, what exactly do you do for Zelda Dungeon? My answer was nothing. I was an emergency invite. But since then, I've got involved in admin for the marathon and the Twitch side of things, and more so being just like a personality for the site, which is fun.
Yeah, now you're a Tier Force hero.
Now I'm a Tier Force hero.
Now you made the big time.
My dream come
Illustrious.
true. I'm on the bottom of the totem.
Super Smash Bros. Is actually responsible for me discovering Zelda Dungeon, because I had played multiple Zelda games and I was a fan, and I was a big Smash fan, and one day I was just thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute, if Brawl Link is based on Twilight Princess and N64 Smash Link is based on Ocarina of Time, what's Melee Link based off of? Because that's definitely not Wind Waker. So that kind of led me to looking that up, and then just looking up, oh, maybe there was a Zelda game that came out that I missed that I just haven't heard about at all. So I looked up the chronology of Legend of Zelda games, of released Legend of Zelda games at that point. And from chronology of Zelda games, it's the internet, I stumbled upon timeline theories and the canon chronology of Zelda games. And from there, I went super deep down the rabbit hole on like different theories of how the games line up, and I was like, this is so cool, I never even thought about this. And of course I end up stumbling onto a site called Zelda Dungeon, and from that point on I was hooked pretty much on the series and on the site as a whole. This was probably over 10 years ago now. I started participating in the forums, started commenting on the posts and stuff, just following the site for general news and stuff like that. 2019, I think, I joined the Discord. That was actually the first Discord I joined, was the Zelda Dungeon Discord. That was the first reason that I got Discord. And I was just so prevalent and involved in there, I just wouldn't shut up so much that eventually a position like kind of was opening up, and Mr. Andy Spiteri, our good pal, actually suggested to Masi's, hey, what about this Corey guy who just doesn't shut up in the Discord? We could give him the role so he could actually do something.
Amazing.
So Masi's reached out, and I joined the team doing stuff as a Discord admin, and then I also happen to be a graphic designer, so from there you reached out, and I started doing some stuff for the YouTube, occasional things here and there for the site.
Are done by Corey. FYI.
A lot of thumbnails. Most of the YouTube thumbnails nowadays are done by me.
I've done one. I did one hero thumbnail.
Yeah, part of the question
I was just very
they
involved.
asked if we were all really like friends before, and no, it's not really. It's the kind of the site that's brought us together.
And it's actually really cool, especially like with Goo and I. We met at last year's marathon for the first time. We had, I think, messaged.
We live together now.
Yeah, I think we messaged once or twice. You skip ahead,
slow down.
6 months after the marathon, and we were living together at Moss's place. Good question. That was a great question.
A great question. That was fun to go down the memory lane. I mean,
that was not the bad question.
Dang it! They'll never get.
Maybe it's this one. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
So our next one comes from our regular pal here, Bat Rogue. They say there are probably more interesting and philosophical questions I could ask about Zelda, but I have to know, Nico, what would the title of the Tenno farming game be, and when will I be able to get it on the eShop? I know it's like a reoccurring thing on the show now. We're like slowly putting it together, but now comes the time where you have to tack a name onto this.
It's gotta be.
Up. You gotta give us the title.
It's gotta be. I don't know. The Fields of Tenno is like a fun idea.
The Fields of Tenno :
crops and seeds : Bolson goes wild.
All right, back to our another good pal, a new bite, who says, what kind of villages would you like to see pop up in the sequel to Breath of the Wild? Is there a village from the past you'd like to see come back?
The ruins in the river where you find Midna's helm, like it's this huge, like sunken village. It's not sunken. I mean, it's flooded, but it's big. It's like bigger than Hateno almost. And I would love to see what that is. But also, I want to see a Minish village. I really want to see the Minish.
That's my answer. I'm stealing Nico's answer.
I'm thinking take that whole Hebrew region and plop in a Nuki village.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys with your answers.
I would love
stealing both your answers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Corey, go ahead. Give us your great answer.
I don't have a good one. Let's bring back Symmetry City.
That would be awesome, actually.
Symmetry City, really. You out of everything you want Symmetry City.
That would be a good creepy village where you go and it's a bunch of people and they're like, I can't can't move.
And
Because
you
I
can
have
bring
to be
back
like
the guy
other
that's in the basement in the middle that's like doing this thing, and you have to give him the dumbbell or something.
Like Skyrule, like a whole
I just want more.
Skyloft situation.
That
I
was,
want it.
yeah, a new bite. Skyloft was a big one.
Yeah. I'm also very curious to see if the underground really proves to be like a big part of the game, or if it's just in that
underground
one.
hidden villages, that'd be
the
cool.
Well, the first
Magma
trailer,
Village?
a Magma Village, or like maybe a new species. But like, I think it'd be fun to like see a fully underground, like I don't know, like the City of Sparks or Ember. Is that what it's called? I think it's called the City of Ember. It's like a book series. That's kind of what it reminds me of. This like city that's been trapped underground their entire lives to where they don't even like know about it.
The Eternal City.
If we're going underground, they could bring back Subrosia, but do it justice. I like the Subrosians themselves. They're very fun.
Yeah, they're funny and cute. Yeah, I like that. I would love to see Subrosians. Anything. I love anything that's like 2D or like the DS game representation. I'm always happy to see that stuff brought back.
Yeah, let's. Where's DS Island? Huh? Give us
Yeah, what the
DS
heck?
Island.
Why haven't they brought that back yet?
Radiant Noir asks, since Breath of the Wild gave us great fighting mechanics, are there any ideas you would like to see implemented in a new combat system? They suggest a skill tree. I'm not really into that necessarily.
It's honestly surprising Breath of the Wild didn't have a skill tree.
This is something that I actually want to give Age of Calamity credit for. I kind of like the way that system works with like the different types of weapons, like the heavy weapons, the medium weapons, and the range weapons and stuff like that. And I think my only suggestion, because I do really like Breath of the Wild's combat, maybe like nothing too crazy complex, but it includes some sort of like combos in there. Or some fresher ways of beating enemies other than
Combos would be
wait
fun.
for them to attack, do a flurry rush.
Especially like
rinse and repeat,
cinematic combos. Think of like Shadow of the Colossus and stuff.
We've suggested before like other items we'd like to see in the game. I think that could freshen it up a lot, just different items that you can implement into the battle. Similar to how you could use like your runes in the battle, what if you had something like a grappling hook or whatever, like that could also become like a new way to mess with enemies. But I think one thing that's refreshing to me about Breath of the Wild is that it goes away from some of there's a lot of, I think, current games that have things. There's plenty of games that have skill trees that are good, but I feel like so many games have tacked on skill trees and stuff like that. And I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but it's one thing I'm like sort of leery about them attempting,
They could think of some other solutions.
One thing I think that would be kind of fun are more like status effects other than, hot and cold, and I guess electricity. I'm thinking like playing a Souls game.
Scarlet Rot?
Yeah, like imagine having a poison or having something like Scarlet Rot. I've been getting into FromSoft games. I'm sorry if I'm going to have a skewed view of Zelda now. As much as I love the weapon system in Breath of the Wild, because I actually genuinely do love the weapon system in Breath of the Wild, even though people complain about it nonstop, it would be fun to be able to upgrade weapons as well. It really would be. Especially if you could add on poison or add on special effects and stuff. Like, I think that'd be cool.
Spoilers, this is the best question we got.
Bad question.
From P-Dog. Would you rather shriek like a re-dead every time you see someone, including strangers, and be forced to give them a big hug, or always wear the stone mask and cause no one to know that you exist?
Easy answer, stone mask. I'm already annoying. And people hate me, so I'm gonna turn the tables on that and just wear the stone mask forever, so no one can ever see me again. Stone mask, activate!
I don't really have a good reason for it though.
Oh man, I've got one to cheer you up, Nico. You didn't like before. I usually try to paraphrase the people's question, but you called me out for not reading someone praising you last time. So I will read you some praise from Liz.
I straight up called him out for it.
Thanks, Nico, for always making me smile. If it ain't Wead, it ain't Zelda. Do you think we'll see any more games using the Breath of the Wild engine or art style after Breath of the Wild 2 comes out? It's difficult to imagine Zelda looking any other way now. It's such a weird thing because I thought Breath of the Wild 2 would come a lot sooner because of that.
Sure.
But I guess Age of Calamity is kind of that game.
Yeah.
We probably will. Maybe it'll be another
Well,
Hyrule Warriors-esque game.
we'll get
or something,
Zelda
you know?
Kart.
We will get that.
Oh no, it's confirmed. I confirmed.
It's coming.
I confirmed it just now.
EG
You're
told
welcome.
me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to imagine what like the next Zelda game is after this one that's not coming out for.
I'll say,
year, you know?
I hope, as much as I love this art style, I hope it doesn't just stay like this forever. That's kind of what I love about Zelda,
Yeah.
is that it's constantly changing. And we've been in a bit of a dry spell, sure, but like I'm excited for the sequel to Breath of the Wild, but I love that each generation was just like something totally new. I mean, look at going from Ocarina of Time, and then you've got Wind Waker, and then you've got Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild. None of them are even similar. Like they're all so vastly different, and I
Yeah.
love that.
I think same engine is probably likely. Same art style, probably not.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
out of all Zelda games, I don't think they've ever done, at least for mainline entries, the same art style more than 2 times.
It does change a lot, but there's also certain eras of influence, I guess. Well, I mainly mostly think of the Toon Link style, like made
Yeah.
its way onto like both Minish Cap and the DS games, and so that might be kind of fun to see
that's a good
like
point.
a game
what the
in a
next
different
one?
style, like a different style, but maybe that is kind of tonally similar to Breath of the Wild, much like Minish Cap was similar to Wind Waker in certain ways. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me
can see
wonder
that.
if we'll ever have a true handheld Zelda ever again.
Yeah, imagine if there's another 2D Zelda game, but it
That
like
I don't
felt like Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
just in terms of like the look and feel. Like that
Yeah.
could be kind of cool. I don't know exactly
that'd be
how
pretty
it
crazy.
worked. Here we are at the end, and it was a trick. These are all great questions.
Ah, dang, we tricked them.
Which one was the crappy one? Dang
Crap,
it.
that was the bad question right there.
Yeah,
Corey, how dare you?
Corey is the dunce of the week. We will be handing that out from now on.
Spoiler, it's gonna be me every time.
Thanks everyone for all your questions. Leave some more. This is a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
we will see you in the next one.
Bye.